What's going on? It's 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 60% humidity, April 2nd, 2022, officially spring. Hope everyone is enjoying warmer days, slowly but surely. Here up at the garden, planting some seeds today, and have a good amount of the beds planted out. I have everything written down and just kind of wanted to go through everything that I have planted here today. What I've been planting on a weekly basis pretty much since the beginning of March. Even though it has still been cold, did research, and the practices that I'm using are cold hardy seeds, cold hardy crops that do good in cold weather. Even if the seedlings come up and it drops down really cold, like 20s, they will still do good, at least from the research that I've been doing. And I have a little bit of examples to show. So I'm going to get into that. And much love. Thanks for stopping by. So let's get into it. I'm going to grab my notebook right over here. At first, I just want to talk about something. So I've got this planter here. This is my 1-inch on center hole planter. So I just drew the lines, poked the holes, and that is for radishes, carrots, beets, and turnips, all being planted 1 inch on center for the best results potentially. So we'll talk more about that. Just wanted to show. So that's how I planted a lot of these, what I'm about to go over. Take this pencil, put this on the bed, poke your holes, and plant the seeds with your finger. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, cool. So here's the garden, all blueprinted out. Ooh, ooh. There we go. That would be looking at it like this, just like how we are right now. Yeah, I'm gonna get into it. I keep saying that, but hey, I'm taking my time today. So that's just what it is. So on March 6th, in this bed right here was planted. I'm sorry, let me point with my finger. This bed right here, from about the beginning to right like here, so half of this bed on March 6th was planted with evergreen bunching onion, red Russian kale, outrageous lettuce, Bloomsdale spinach, and red cord chantenay carrot. So that was on March 6th. So these seeds have encountered everything in terms of temperature. Whatever's happened over the last month, these seeds have seen it. They've been in the ground. It's went up to 50. It's went back down to 20. It's snowed. It's froze. So let's see how they're checking in. There's no carrots coming up. I did just look under this today. Please excuse if the sun today. It's really sunny. Might get some glares going. But I did just pull this grass up a little bit before, and the evergreen bunching onion seeds are germinating. So that's cool. They're finally sprouting, which means they will be coming up. And Right over here, we've got some, it's hard to see, right next to my finger. 1, 2, and actually just a whole little row. 3. Looks like they're all getting fried. There's a whole bunch more right here. 2, 3, 4. That's spinach. See how my dirt is showing? That's what I don't. That's what the least. That's what I want the least. So I just took some grass and I just covered up that soil right there because it's full sun today, no clouds. So definitely do not want sun beating directly down on your soil. That's gonna kill all the beneficial microbial activity that is present. It's gonna dry out the moisture. Yeah, it's gonna do overall negatives more than positives. So yeah, this spinach was sowed on March 6th and here it is. It's coming up. So how good of a harvest off of this is it going to be? I don't know. Only time will tell, but it came up. So that's cool. Planted on March 6th and this came up after undergoing all of that, all of those temperatures. So that was the first planting. Then if we take it over here to D1 and this little section right here, we've got German giant radish, 2 small rows, purple top white globe turnip, and a gourmet blend of beets, all 2 rows, 2 rows, 2 rows next to each other. So 6 rows total. Yeah, and actually, try and get in here. I don't know if you can see. Right where my finger is though, there is a radish seedling coming up. So, oh, here we go. Radish. Radish seedling. Don't know if you could see the glare. It's so bad. Okay, yeah, there we go. Radish coming up. That was planted on March 15th. So this is technically the second succession. Radish coming up. Along with cosmic purple carrot and purple plum radish. This one coming up is German giant radish. Then take it over to here. Right here is the first succession of lettuce planting. Rogue D. Ivor, Freckles, and some more outrageous. So if you look, 1, 2, 3. They're small. They're a little dented, but they're coming up. So lettuce is coming up. Then I believe right over here, then if we go down, so that was on March 15th as well, along with all those, that little bed over there I just named where the radish was coming up. Then on March 17th, right down here, we did some, a mixture of tatsoi, arugula, Mizuna Asian greens, green wave mustard greens, wasabina Japanese greens, and wild arugula, all right here. And I don't know what is coming up, but something's coming up, so that's good to see right there. Then in the back, so it goes German giant radish, purple top white globe turnip, gourmet blend mixed beets, purple what was it, purple radish, cosmic purple carrot. Then it goes into the garlic, and then it's cilantro and Halbanese Parsnips, and those won't be coming up for a while. See, we had some really hard rains it's been raining for like a week now, but yeah, so every time it rains, sometimes the grass gets washed off the beds, and I'll be cutting this grass here in about a month. It's getting greener every day, so really just have to undergo this last month, and then we'll get some nice fresh green cover on the beds to feed the soil fertility, feed the soil life, to give the soil fertility, and protect the soil from being directly shined on by the sun. So Halbanese parsnips, they take about 110 days, long time. They could take 3 weeks to germinate as well too, so that's just chilling over there. Then we come to this bed, the next planting. It was foraging carrots into cylindra beets. Is anything coming up? I don't think anything's coming up yet. And then more big planting of German giant radishes. Then if we come over here, garlic's coming up nice. I'm gonna call this one Grandpa's Choice. So yeah, I got this garlic coming up right here. Right there is gonna be some purple mini bunching onions. Right here in this section we have more radish, purple top white globe turnip, Yellowstone carrots. I just did a new planting of, I believe it was the purple plum radish, white daikon radishes, and then more Yellowstone carrot. And then what else do we got? Over here in the beginning of this one was another, this bed one right here was another succession of lettuce coming up, 3 different kinds. Then in this new bed right over here, 2 days ago on the 31st, we did, it's gonna be arugula, wild arugula, Rogue d'Ivoire lettuce, so it's another succession of lettuce, freckles, Yankee Hardy blend, Tatsoi Asian greens, outrageous lettuce, and cilantro. All right here in this row. This is row J1, J2, and J3. And then bring it over to this little section right here. Also did some Bloomsdale spinach, Yankee Hardy blend, more arugula, and cilantro, all right here. So that would leave today this new bed that I just planted, fixing the grass on top of the soil again as I go around and see it. This new bed, so with that precision planter I showed at the beginning of the video, that's 48 holes. So if I could fit two of those for one kind, that's 96. So right here in this section, 96 carrots, 2 kinds, cosmic purple carrot, red cord chantenay carrot. Then it goes to 96 purple top white globe turnips, and then 96, or I believe it might have just been 48 on the end of German giant radishes, and then did the rest of those purple bunching onions. So, and then right on that back row right there, just did regular onions. So that's New York early onions, like 20, another 20 of Dakota Tears. Right here is the other 2 plantings of New York early onions into Dakota Tears onions. More parsnips, different kind than the Halbanese. That was, I believe, was Lancer parsnips. And then got the 10, 1, 2, 3 strawberry plants. Those were right there. And then they had multiplied from last year, so I dug them up and then replanted them as a single plant, each of them, and they will multiply again this year, essentially forever extending my amount of strawberry plants. Hopefully getting my first year of fruit off them this year, so that would be cool. And then there's actually some garlic that I planted in between each one of the strawberry plants, and then 1 parsnip also in between. So there's literally strawberries, garlic, and parsnips all in this little row. Always trying to intermix and planting. And garlic, if you don't know, I didn't know as far ago as last year, it needs to be planted in the wintertime, like late September, October, even November, depending on where you live. And then it needs to undergo the coolness, basically a dormancy period of the winter, just like the trees do go into. But there's a practice called like vernalization, and it's basically when you put the garlic in the fridge for the course of the winter. Like, this is how people in Florida get to grow hardneck garlic, because there's hardneck and softneck. Hardneck is better for the northern climates. Softneck is better for the southern climates. So it's harder to grow hardneck in Florida. So people, what they do is they put it in the fridge. That tricks the garlic into thinking that it just went through winter, got snowed on, got rained on, was cold through that whole period. So I had this garlic that I planted in between these strawberries in the fridge through the whole course of the winter. Just planted it a few days ago. So the idea is, or we'll see, if that garlic was just in the fridge for the whole winter, tricking it that it was outside in the ground like a winter period, will these cloves of garlic actually sprout up to full heads rather than just like little mini spring garlic, which is what would happen if you planted garlic in the ground right now. By like July, you'd have like little mini spring garlics. That's what I did last year. But all that other garlic that I was showing that's coming up, I planted that in September, October last year, and those will be getting the full heads. But can you trick garlic, not plant it in the ground, just put it in the fridge and then get the full heads? All right, you get it. I just had to really explain that. It's a cool thing. Vernalization, we're trying it out. So yeah, let's look at this healthy garlic coming up. This is the unknown Vermont 1 strain. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of different kinds. And then, so the plan is I got 3 pounds of 3 different kinds of potatoes. So 1, 2, 3 kinds. We got Baltic Rose, Rose Gold, and then Adirondack Blue. 3 pounds of potatoes, 3 different sections. Then the rest of potatoes, 30 pounds, 3 pounds, 1 pound of each. Then 30 pounds of German butterball potatoes down that whole last little L section. Right here. Starting from, I'm gonna try and plant this bed out and get a harvest off of it before the corn goes in the ground, if possible. Because carrots are 70 days, turnips, beets, 50 days, radishes, 25 to 35 days, depending on which kind of radish I plant. So maybe I just plant I get 70 days is too much, 50 days is pushing it. Maybe I get 2 harvests of German giant radishes or cherry belly radishes out of that bed before the corn goes into the ground mid-May. Food for thought, that's what I'm thinking. So, but anyways, it's gonna be, in that bed that I just showed, all that should be pulled up, ready to be planted. So from this cinder block all the way over to this side, it's gonna be Tom's Thumb popcorn, Abenaki Calais flint corn, and then Martian Jewels sweet corn. 3 different kinds of corn. And then I was thinking about making the other side, because, sorry, it's a little hard for me to see with the camera, because I got, anyways, this side corn, right? And then that leaves half of the bed, and then the other front half is gonna be for flowers. Flower bed right here, and have like 7, 10, many different kinds of flowers, 3 different kinds of sunflowers, 3 different kinds of marigolds, just many different flowers. So we're pretty much planted out. But now that I say that out loud, I'm like, damn, so everything's planted out, but I still need to plant something every week. Well, we'll find room. So yeah, it's gonna be easy to find space to direct sow the lettuce. I was thinking about putting lettuce sows in between each one of the garlics. Just so make a little row in between the 2 garlics, or wherever the garlic is. That way, while the garlic grows up, this space could be utilized for some lettuce. That's just one idea. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of root crops in the ground. There's a lot of greens already in the ground. The fact that those seeds popped up and it literally went down to like 20 degrees. It has been so windy. It's rained, it's snowed. So it's just a beautiful thing. And I guess really all I need now is patience and permittable temperatures. It is beautiful today. We're looking at 50s and 30s for the rest of the week. And those tomato plants will be 6 weeks old on Friday, which means they need to go in the ground. But are the temperatures permitting? No. Could I put them out under cover and take the chance of them dying? Yes. And if I don't do that, then the other option is that they're getting root bound in their pots inside, and I don't have a bigger pot to switch all of the 60 tomato plants up to the next size pot to keep them inside for another month until I can put them out. Well, I guess that's the learning curve of starting your tomato plants too early. So the idea is that this is 16 feet from one side to the other. And then you remember those white poles that I used for that little cool house right there. Stick 2 of those together, get a post like 6 foot high, or however high. I mean, 6 feet would be ideal. I guess I would need to get it like 8 feet or 7 feet so I could at least stick it 1 to 2 feet in the ground. And then put those white pipes going across, and then a tomato plant. I know I've already explained this in like past videos, but the time's here now, so like, and I got the vision. So pole across with, 2 poles on the side holding up the pole going across, and then tomato plant, tomato plant, tomato plant, each one with a string, like a little stake holding the string next to the tomato plant, and then the string will go up to the pole that's up there, and then they will just grow up the strings. Maybe you got the vision, maybe you didn't. That's what I'm trying to do. Just got to find the poles for the outside perimeter to make that middle bar that's going across stand up. Maybe that's a project for today. But one love, wholeness, and then these beds, kind of showed it in the last video, but these mounds are going to be 2 different kinds of watermelon, 2 different kinds of cantaloupe, buttercup squash, honey nut squash, Long Island cheese pumpkin, Connecticut field pumpkin, New England pie pumpkin, N. rustica, Nape rustica, tobacco, and maybe one more squash or something, forgetting. But yeah, and then this will just turn into like a little squash, pumpkin, watermelon patch. Okay, so that's the plan. Oh, and then right here, where I had the cold house, this is now like a little bed, and gonna put successions of green zucchini summer squash, a different kind of green summer squash, and 2 yellow summer squashes right here. Got the potatoes, the onions. Oh, and then potentially after all this grows up and then the strawberries come in the mail, I also have 75 strawberry starts, like plants that'll plant in the ground, and I'm pretty sure will produce fruit this year. And one's June bearing, one's ever bearing, so that gives me extended harvest through the entire season of strawberries. Malwina and Seascape strawberries. So one love, wholeness. It is just a beautiful day. I'm really loving it out here. So enjoy the bright blue skies wherever you are. And if you haven't, maybe start thinking about planting some seeds for this year. It might be of your best interest and possibly your family's interest if you got growing some food. Maybe if it was even just like a little bit of lettuce for the week. All right. Until next week, this is Jay's Grass-Fed Garden Weekly Update. I know I already said it like 5 times, but one love, wholeness. We'll talk soon. Peace.